Hello and welcome. This is Alchemistexe, and this is the weekly update. So we've got a new event that has a new unit and a couple of new mementos to go along with it, as well as a job plus, and then a very interesting quest that's around for a little bit. So the event in question is one of the Veda Templar ones, and Vier is the unit who is getting the job plus. You can see her here on the cover. She's hardly even recognizable with the new skin that they've given her. And this is the typical dungeon quest as all of the Veda events have been. And the one for Noin's job plus is rerunning right now, so if you don't have that, definitely grab it, because he is still very, very, very handy to have. But if this is your first dungeon quest, it's a quest line where you do levels and then it unlocks bosses, and then fighting the bosses will get you a bunch of different items, including the tokens that you need to get Vier's job plus to turn her into a lightning magic nightmare, as well as you can get some shards and then shards of the new unit as well. If you're planning on transmuting, you can get 25 from the trial mission and then 25 here, so then you only have to spend 8,000 in the Louise shop, which is what I'm in the process of doing. I'm at like 41 out of 150 and it's only the first day. I definitely prefer transmuting over those questionable unlimited banners, but we'll get to the banners later. Aside from the Also Sprock event, there is something very, very interesting. Something I guess I never thought would happen because it's just so darn convenient. But there is a weapon enlightenment map, and it's really nice because it's sorted into the types and it just provides you all of the conditions that you would need to get the enlightenment skills that you want. Now, it's not perfect because they're not going to actually tell you what you need, but for example, if we were to go into Spear, we're not actually going to do the level, so it can be any old team. I just want to point a couple of things out. So they're not going to tell you exactly what you need to do to get the skills, but all of the pieces will be there just on the map, and it's pretty easy. I've soloed it with several characters, but just for example here, if you want to get Kudenstein's unique ability on his super edge spear, you would want to be attacking the Kennen and the Zane, and that's how you get that final skill in the tree. It's even with the convenience of this map, it still can be really, really grindy. Like, I was just autoing it non-stop on the staff level to try to get Atima's unique skill, and it took like at least 2 hours, whereas I got both Vier and Dark Atima done in like a matter of minutes. So there's definitely going to be a lot of RNG involved, as well as a lot of Zenny spent potentially on skill resets. You know what? While we're here, I'll just go over it for anyone who's not familiar. It's a game mechanic that I don't reference very often because a lot of times I found it to be so grindy it drove me crazy. But because of this map and how consolidated everything is, I decided to devote some time to it. So when certain weapons, they have to be ones that have it unlocked, like swords, great swords, spears, staffs, etc. All of the ones that have maps on that level. And it's only then certain weapons among them. You'll be able to tell because once they're 5-star and level 30, they'll have a blue outline instead of a yellow one. And then when certain conditions are met, usually it's just attacking enemies that are like 60, 75, 85. They'll have a little like thing appear above them and say enlightenment skill unlocked. And that's where the RNG comes in. So you get certain combinations, like let's just look at Vier's. Like this was the desired result, the Cursed Incense Fulisade. But in order to get this, I had to get the correct like rank 1 skill, which I think is just called Curse or something Curse. Then I had to get the correct level 2 skill, which is like Cross Curse. And then I had to get this one. So every time you get the one that you don't want, you need to like spend Zenny to reset it. And that's what I meant by it can consume a lot of Zenny. Like, I spent at least 6 or 7 million Zenny just on Atima's level 3 skill resets by itself, and that's not even getting into level 1 and level 2, but they're also cheaper. And then if you have duplicates of the weapons, you can consume them to level up the skills. But yeah, that's about it for weapon enlightenment. Some of them are pretty good. There's some good like all defense down or all attack down, that kind of thing. I like the ones that are unique and more specialized a bit more than the generic ones, but I'll have a link to it in the description, but I recommend going to the Gamepedia wiki and just looking at the table and seeing what all the conditions are, because if you tried to figure it out on your own, you'd be doing nothing but this quest, and you'd be doing it until the end of time probably. But I am glad that they have it here, because it just saves a lot of time and energy. And now, I could be wrong about this, but it seems like you can only pop one skill at a time. From my hours and hours of testing, I only ever had that happen. If it is possible, if anyone has ever popped more than one in a single battle, definitely let me know, because I'm super curious about that. But yeah, that's about it for content. I know that it seems like there's not a lot there, but there's a lot between doing the boss stuff and trying to get all the skills that you might want to get for weapons. You could easily spend this whole week just grinding away. Oh, it's also a really good week for enlightenment as well. Actually, before we move on to the banner review, I'll just show the picture real quick. Because a lot of really good units got Gate 6. Just all these Templars that I love, plus Gerald, one of the best units in the game, and also Kuza. But yeah, definitely great week for enlightenment. I've been wanting to get Oct really badly because she's got so many mementos, and now she can have 2 of them at once, and I just ridiculous amount of HP. Point where she's regenning like 2,000 per turn. Ridiculous. So yeah, that's it for content. Let's move on to the banner review. Alright, so here we are at the banners. So first up is this paid one that I would only recommend this if you do like every paid one, because you can't re-roll it all. You know, a single bad roll turns it into a waste. Then we have 3 in a row that are all the same basic premise, that they don't really have any guarantees. The first 2 give Templar coins, and the second one gives summon coins. Oh, actually, a quick note about summon coins. So the memento summon is moved down here, and it now gives 10 summon coins on the free daily summon. So now you get 20 a day. So that means that anytime there's something for 100, including blitz shards, you could get them. So if you have the patience of a saint, you could transmute blitz and start raising him. That would take a very, very long time. I don't know if that would be worth the effort, but it is something that is more feasible than it was before, so it's at least interesting. But yeah, I don't think any of these banners are a good way to get the units. All of them are in the Louis shop right now, so if you want Shards for Soul or Zwei or Dry or any of them, then I would get them that way. Much more reliable. And then once you own them, you can also get them in the bazaar as well. So I think that's just a better use of your gems. Now this one, on the other hand, I think could be worth it for a lot of people, because 1,000 of those Templar coins could go a long way in helping you raise the Templar units that you've already got. Or like if you're planning on transmuting Ainanna like I am, then this is a good way to make up for the deficit in shards that transmuting costs, in addition to the free 100 shards you get from the quest. So I'm going to be doing this banner a little bit later. Next up, we've got a 7-step for mementos. It's alright, especially if you don't have the limited ones, specifically souls. It could be a good way to try to get them because the pool is fairly limited. If you're in like my position though, where I've already got both of souls mementos max limit broken, thanks to a giant mountain of lost blue reliefs, this is a lot less tempting, because I would love to have Vier's memento, but it's normal pool, as is Ainanna's. Actually, Ainanna's isn't even on this one. So it's pretty dicey. But I think that if you don't have that, like if you're especially missing Templar mementos and you want them, then this could definitely be worthwhile. Even if you didn't go all the way to the random 6 copies. Now, if you do want Vier's new memento or Ainanna's memento, then this is the banner to go for. More expensive, but selector is a selector. And then below that is a rerun of the old Orion, which Orion's is normal pool, and then Kuza's memento, if for whatever reason you want to go that route. I don't know. I don't think Kuza's a bad unit per se, but it is kind of I feel like he's maybe more rare, like more limited than the utility he provides. Even though it is cool to have an M attack sword user. I mean, I guess it's not that much different than Dry, and I use Dry all the time. But anyway, any other banners, I believe, are all old. So that is about it. Nothing too amazing, about what you'd expect from the previous banners that we've seen before with the Templar events. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's move on to the summoning. Alright, let's start with step 1, the discounted step. Hopefully this works. I heard some people's discount tickets weren't working. Well, at least it changed the thing. If it subtracts 2,500, I'll have to put in a ticket. Wondering, I have a hard time imagining I'll be able to outdo the last style of this banner that I did. Yeah, it's not a good start. But as always, the coins are really the reason to do this banner. Anything else is really just a bonus. Yeah, that was a pretty bad start. A lot of decil. Why are there so many decils? Oh, that's RNG for you. Oh no. That's 2 in a row that are total duds. Actually, I guess I haven't had like a bad summoning video in a while. I can't really say I was overdue, but eventually it's bound to happen. Alright, so we're now 3 out of 5. Yeah, even, I'm obviously not counting on getting Ainanna, but like any dupes of like, especially Dry and Sphy would be much appreciated, because I'm still getting some of their gates maxed. Dry especially wants the HP from gate 6. And I don't remember, I think my Sphy was a little farther behind than that, but... There was one red in there. And it's Bud. Give this guy more gates. He'll be awesome as soon as he gets some more gates, and then that memento that just gives him, I think it gives him like guts right away and just counter boosting, that kind of thing. But not exactly a win on the context of this banner. So now we're at 4 out of 5. Oof. Dang. Yeah, this is the worst one I've had in a while. Alright, now the question is, what will the final step look like? The bar is pretty low right now, so will it continue as such, or will we be surprised at all? Well, at least we got an Oro Twirl. And it's red. Looks like just the one, though. I wonder if any of the yellows will change. Not yet. Alright. Nope, that's just Ravenna. Well, look at that. That was an absolute dud of a banner. But I'll be sure to put those coins to good use once I've transmuted Ainanna, and then Dry and Sphy could use some as well. So yeah, that is it for the weekly update. I hope you guys have better luck than I did, and I will see you all next time.